The Cold War ended with the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Since then, the U.S. has continued to regard Russia as a threat to European security and has constantly pushed NATO to expand eastward. In the past 30 years, the number of NATO countries has grown from 12 to 30. In February, Washington said it would support Ukraine joining the organization. It was this that is thought to have finally led to Russian President Vladimir Putin's decision to conduct what he described as a special military operation in Ukraine. As American political commentator Thomas L. Friedman pointed out, neither the U.S. nor NATO could claim to be an innocent onlooker to the conflict.
Не мы кому-то угрожаем, к нам пришли. И теперь еще говорят, нет, теперь и Украина будет у нас.
Dass eine NATO-Mitgliedschaft der Ukraine eine rote Linie darstellt, deren Überschreiten Russland nicht hinnehmen würde. Stattdessen haben die Hardliner gefangen in einer völlig überkommenen Logik des Kalten Krieges starr an der Beitrittsperspektive für die Ukraine festgehalten und dabei überheblich Russland den Großmachtstatus abgesprochen. Sanktionen, die den eigenen Bürgern am Ende mehr Schaden zufügen als denen, die damit gemeint sind, werden dem Krieg in der Ukraine kein Ende setzen können. Nach diesem Krieg werden wir mit Russland immer noch auf einem Kontinent leben.
The Russia-Ukraine conflict has now lasted for over 5 months. In that time, an estimated 6 million Ukrainians have fled their country. Since the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the United States and several European countries have imposed sanctions on Russia in successive rounds of increasing severity. A key target of the Western sanctions has been Russian energy exports. On March the 8th, the United States led the way, declaring that it would halt all imports from Russia of oil, natural gas, and coal. A month later, the European Union announced that it would stop importing Russian coal.
Today, I'm announcing the United States is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy. We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy.
Russia is a major player on the international energy market, accounting for 18%, 11%, and 10% of global coal, oil, and natural gas exports. Before the EU imposed sanctions, around 40% of the natural gas, 30% of the oil, and 20% of the coal it imported came from Russia. According to a report by the World Bank in April, energy prices are rising at their highest rate since the 1973 oil crisis. It predicts that the surge may continue until the end of 2024.
The war is a serious setback to Europe's strong, yet incomplete recovery from the pandemic. It left private consumption and investment well below pre-coronavirus forecasts, even as fiscal and monetary support underpinned an impressive rebound in employment, almost to the levels last seen before the pandemic.
Norwegian energy research and business intelligence company Rystad Energy has predicted that a complete halt to Russian deliveries will create a natural gas shortfall in Europe amounting to 155 billion cubic meters each year.
Und das heißt, wir rechnen damit, dass sich auch über das Jahr gerechnet die Kosten für Heizung, für Benzin, für Strom nahezu verdoppeln werden für die Verbraucher, für die Betriebe. Und das ist ein sehr großer Geldbetrag und den meisten Mitgliedern, den meisten Menschen ist das noch gar nicht so klar geworden, was das bedeutet.
Yet, while Europe is suffering by cutting off Russian energy imports, the United States is profiting. Data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration has revealed that in the first 4 months of this year, the United States sold 74% of its liquefied natural gas output to Europe. Its exports to the European Union and the United Kingdom increased more than threefold year on year, reaching an average of 210 million cubic meters per day. As a result, the U.S. now enjoys a 49% share of the European natural gas market.
Actually, the United States has now two main goals. The first is to completely cut off Russia from Europe. In other words, to completely prevent the sale of Russian gas and oil to Europe, and also to completely destroy the economic relations between Europe and Russia. The second goal is the United States wants Europe to suffer significantly from this crisis. So as a result of their increased energy costs in Europe, Western European nations, they will now face serious economic difficulties. So by using all these methods, I think the United States wants to make Europe much more dependent on itself. So therefore, the United States wants, I think, complete instability in Ukraine. And they want the war to continue and the insecure situation to worsen in Ukraine. This is what the United States wants.
On July the 13th, the exchange rate of the euro against the US dollar fell below parity for the first time in 20 years. Analysts ascribe this to two main factors. One is that the US dollar, which is effectively protected by a powerful military, still represents a safe haven in times of crisis. The other is that Europe's preoccupation with defense issues at the expense of the economy has damaged confidence in the euro.